Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences, raw conversations, one destination for it all. E360 TV.
Hello, hello, hello. I have a question for you. Have you ever felt completely lost? You know, seeking purposeful direction that could and should propel your mission within your divine journey to that next level, but still it hasn't happened. Well, my name is Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the founder of P3, the Journey Series. People come to me because they're wounded. Many are scared, and even there are those who are bruised simply because they feel that they are increasingly, for whatever reason, losing their ability to dream. Now, this P3 program is not for a person who's just looking to start a business, no, but rather for those of you out there who have been on your journey and you've been navigating within your divine purpose, but you still desire to elevate to that level that you have not reached yet. If this is appealing, if this describes you, then I want to have a chat with you. I want to hear your story. So use the link below to get registered for your free seat at P3, the Journey Series. And let's get started, one story at a time. I'll see you inside. Click the link. We're back. I'm happy that we're back. Good morning. Happy Monday. I know they can be tough, but in order to get to Friday, we got to start on Monday. And here we are. Welcome, welcome, welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, Lauren Michaels Harris, and I am so excited to start the week with you. How was your weekend? Guess what we did? Absolutely nothing. I'm not kidding you. It was, and you know what? My husband Brian and I, this weekend, we said, let's try an experiment. We're not going out. We're not going to go out to eat. We didn't go shopping. Well, I went to the grocery store a couple times. I just cooked, and we laid on the couch, and we binged watched. We watched The Chi. We're hooked on it. And so we sat there. We watched 7 episodes on Saturday and 5 episodes yesterday. I did play tennis Saturday morning, which was great.
And, you know, it's like, I don't understand. I don't have a problem taking naps. Do you? I love me a good nap. Brian, my husband, I almost have to force him. He's like, no, I'm not tired. And I could see it all over him. So I snuck in the bedroom and pulled the blinds down. And no kidding, it worked. It was a trap. He went up there. I'll be right back. I'm going to get something. I said, why don't we take a half-hour break? He goes, well, I'm going to go upstairs and get my, I don't know, iPad or something. As soon as he went in that dark room, I realized it was like 40 minutes later. I said, he must be working up there. So I went up to check underneath the blankets, completely asleep, and he slept for 3.5 hours. So I said, you needed it. And why is it that we fight our bodies when they're telling us what we need? I'm guilty of it, but I'm trying to do better. How do you listen? What channel do you listen to your body on? Is it your heart? Is it your gut? Is it your brain? Because guess what? All of those are connected. I've been doing a lot of studying on that. We're going to hear something about that today. The Oracle is here. She is in her car on a retreat somewhere in probably some mountainous area of the country. She's out there on a discovery journey. I guess I think I'd rather refer to it as a soul quest. We're going to hear about that and what she's been up to. So anyway, welcome to Bathrobe Moments. If you haven't been here before, that bell is purposeful. That's why it's called the bell purpose. I ring it during the show whenever there's some truth out there, because you might be doing 100 other things and I don't want you to miss it. So it's not a prop. It's not a gimmick. It is an opportunity. And so I just want to, when you hear the bell, which has a ring to it, know that the truth is out there. It has a ring to it. Do you hear it? Huh? Do you hear it? I do. So anyway, and one other little tidbit before we get the Oracle in here. They put me on another round. I got this long COVID thing. They put me on another round of, what are those things called? Not antibiotics, steroids. Second time, prednisone or something. So I got it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, Thursday, because it's 2 a day for 5 days. Today I took the last 2. It's kind of working this time. Didn't work the first time, but at least you can hear me. And it sounds like it's coming back. Brian said it was better yesterday. So pray for me. Saying maybe the Oracle can heal me today. Or get some angels to come in there. She's done it before. So anyway, today, you guys, get ready. Get your questions ready. If you've been seeing numbers, every time the Oracle's here, we're going to have a section for angel numbers, all of that. But I asked for a download this morning, some guidance from the universe, from source, from greater than, about what would be something to really help us get our week started in a right way. And here it came. It was like, let's talk about what to do if you're trying to connect with the universe. So I call it this. Wait a minute. I saw this when I was looking. I didn't make this up. I wish I had, but I didn't. Hold on. This. Where is it? Wait a minute. Oh my, it's somewhere. Oh, there it is. Your universe. How clever is that? So we're going to talk about that this morning, and we're going to get the Oracle in here, catch up with her, and talk about what she feels is being delivered. Look behind me on the screen. Aura. Also known as woo-woo. Here she comes, the Oracle of Apollo, also known as Dominique Rivera.
Grand Rising.
Grand Rising. Oh my goodness. My voice is coming back because I can do stuff. Yay. You know what I've been doing, Oracle? Since, because I'm filming that TV series. Got to go back September 10th to finish. And I got signed for 2 seasons. I'm now a co-star. Yay. So anyway, I've been watching all these shows similar to the one I'm doing. And there's a lot of guys that have these kind of voices. So I was like, well, maybe God's just trying to give me this voice for TV. I don't know, but I want my other voice back because I miss singing. Just singing in the shower, singing while I'm cooking. I've been talk singing. When songs come on that I usually sing harmonies to and stuff, I like speak the words. It's not the same. Anyway, how are you? You look awesome. How's it going? Tell us I'm a dip out. Tell everybody hello and tell everybody what's going on. Those that may not know that you're on this quest, and then we'll come back in and get started with all the spiritual stuff.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Grand Rising. I'm the Oracle of Apollo, Dominique Rivera. Currently, I am in North Carolina in a subtropical region called Mandala Springs. I am in the Appalachian Mountains. I am staying next to a live stream, one of the cleanest bodies of water in the country. It is absolutely gorgeous here. So if you guys have been following me for a while, or if not, this current side quest, Soul Quest, has been delivered by Spirit October last year. And they needed me to learn direction or to do, what is that called? I can't, director, producer work. And they kind of planted me here. In the planting of me here, I literally drove into purpose. Within the first 4 days, I picked up a show, and I'm working on a show right now called Legendary Planet. So we're going to be filming the pilot next month. So very shortly. It's a show about permaculture. And right now I'm in a retreat called Vibes, which is all about music production. And I thought it was interesting that you started off with, I'm talk singing my songs I normally sing harmony to.
Yeah.
Because the essence of that is what's important. I know we love to hear something melodic, but the fact is, when we're working on the throat chakra, it helps inspire, even if it's just talk singing. Right now, we're learning all about hip hop. And hip hop used to be my soul when I was in high school. I used to do a lot of freestyling, but I haven't written anything in, I don't know, 10 years? 10 years?
Freestyling? Like rapping?
Like rapping. That used to be my heart. I'm serious. I'm not.
Okay, drop it then.
No, we're not doing that right now. Let me finish.
I can rap.
You can rap?
Yeah.
I want to hear it. Go ahead.
Even though it kind of fits in the category of dancing as far as my family, because they call me Uncle Carlton. I don't know why they don't think I have any rhythm. I do. I just don't do choreographed dancing. When they're all out there, up, back. No. But when you just let me go, I can do it. So here goes my rap.
Go ahead.
Hip, hop, the hippie to the hip. Don't stop the rockin' to the bang, bang, boogie. Say up, jump the boogie. Okay, never mind. Screw that. Never mind. Okay, not for me.
Up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat.
I'm serious.
Now what you hear? Go ahead.
I used to think when I was little that I used to ask my adoptive mom, am I really black? Because I couldn't play basketball. I couldn't dance. I didn't have any of the things. But I was going to say something, but then people will think I'm racist. I was going to say, but I sure can cook some chicken.
Oh, damn.
I can cook some everything. But anyway, I want to get started. It's so good to see you. We missed you on Ask the Experts. Everyone sends their love. But we are so excited. I think it's just amazing that you said, this is important, people, you drove into purpose, which not long ago would have been an impossibility because the car you're sitting in was in storage for how long?
9 years.
9 years. So you can put no miles on that puppy. You could probably you could sell that for some good money right now because it doesn't have a lot of miles. So tell everybody why you couldn't drive and how you got to the point where you could drive out of one situation and into a new one.
So I had something called dysautonomia and postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. So basically my central nervous system wouldn't regulate all your autonomic things. So your breathing, the way your adrenals function, your circulation, the way your heart works. And essentially my heart would beat 30% faster than someone else. So when people were just sitting having a conversation, I'm running in place. If I'm participating in the conversation, I'm sprinting in place. So it was a lot. And I couldn't cook for myself. I became very heat intolerant. If there was a candle could make me pass out. I became very cold intolerant, where I had extreme pain to the cold. And so my driver's license was medically revoked. And so this journey of trust and faith over the last 9 years has led me to seeking alternative medicines because the doctor basically said 20% chance of getting better. And I think psychologically, if anybody were to truly absorb that, that would be disheartening, because it's kind of like, if I had only a 20% chance of success, why put in the effort?
That's exactly right. And you know what? I am finding, what are you guys? Tell me what you're hearing. But I am running into more and more people who are opening the conversation, the dialogue with me about holistic approaches as a go-to. A lot of people are backing off, just taking a pill or that kind of thing. And I'm so encouraged by that, because I feel the universe is getting us there. And so I really love your testimony. Now, I want to ask you about this because we're going to watch a clip. Um, Universe. I am guilty of it myself, always having thought or experiencing in my own world the universe as a separate place, a separate thing, a separate entity. And I'm beginning to move into a mindset that's almost like those ice cream cones at Dairy Queen that are swirled, where, you know what I mean? Or like one of those coffee things where they put their little pretty pictures on the top. Well, I don't know how they do it, but it's got like a leaf or something floating on top. It's kind of like it's a mixture, a blend, if you will. So your universe, I'd like to talk about that. Let's watch this quick clip if we could, and then we'll get started. Get your angel numbers and stuff. Are you feeling are you a conduit today?
I feel like we could literally ask questions today and we don't even have to do numbers today, because I'm very open.
Oh, what if somebody says I've been seeing a number?
That's
Will you-
fine. But
Okay.
I'm gonna give channeled message today instead of numerology messages.
A what message?
Channeled message.
Oh, so that means, tell them what that means.
That means I'm gonna open a connection or tune into my radio station so that I can hear the proper messages from source to deliver to you.
Perfect. Well, let's kick things off today with this little ditty. If you are trying to connect with the universe, here we go.
So many people today talk about connecting with the universe, almost like the universe is something that is separate or apart from us. When we are one with everything, and energy is all one collective intelligence and one collective energy source, then why do we need to try and seek external to how the communication works instead of actually understanding that everything is just one channel anyway? And that channel is not separate in the sense that every single day we are connected. We probably get these senses anyway. That's what we call intuition. But the biggest problem is a lot of the time people have, when intuition is working for them, they're like, yes, I trust in my intuition. But yet at the same time, sometimes they can have judgment and opinions on certain people and think that some situation is a certain way and then find out that it's actually wrong. So my question to everybody is, if intuition is sometimes right and sometimes wrong, how can we even get ourselves to trust in intuition? But what if everything was nothing but just a mind-stimulated emotion? The moment we think of emotion, that energy in motion is purely just a channel, that wave, which in emotion, energy can be sensed through our taste, through our hearing, through our visuals, through what we feel in the air, whether that's hot or cold. That is how energy is sensed. But when it is mind stimulated, in the sense that we can tell you to visualize something, you visualize that thing and you see it, that is mind stimulated. That is not intuition, that is not universal calling. And if we can remove the mind for a moment and we suspend all thoughts, actually our mind gets into the most silent, blissful place. And in that silence, in that bliss of whether we go through meditation or we go through breath work, that silence and bliss becomes so loud. And you're hearing that right. I'm saying the silence and bliss becomes so loud that you hear everything again. I'm going to say that once more. The silence becomes so loud that we hear everything again. And I'm saying everything, we feel everything. The more our mind is taken out of the meditation or the practice, the more we start tapping into the non-limited, the no boundary, the
Yes.
infinite soul energy of who we truly are. But the question is, what kind of practices do we have in place to get ourselves there? If we can actually stop thinking, if we can trust that we
Ooh,
can flow
Lord.
with the energies, we can breathe and feel, think less, feel more. That is your gateway to understanding and connecting deeper to the divine. From that moment, all your questions will be answered.
Amen.
And clarity will come. You'll know your soul calling, you'll know which direction to go, and life becomes extremely easy. But you have to be alert and present in every moment.
Love it. That's so, I loved every word of that. Every word of that. Let's start with soul calling. I have found in my own journey, and tell me how you've experienced it, because you've been on this path, I believe a lot longer than I have, because you come through, it's
2014, I
yeah,
started.
yeah, you started before me, cognizantly. I think we start from the very beginning, but
Sure.
when I was aware of what was going on, so soul calling, I'm finding that I'm attaching the word soul more and more. Like I'll earn and learn and grow my way up to an understanding. And once I have it off my thumb drive and I place it on my spiritual hard drive, automatically the word soul comes running over and it becomes a compound or a hyphenated. All those things. That's how I know. That's my litmus test, if you will. That okay, keep it. And try to understand it on a deeper level. So let's talk about soul calling, and then I want to get into how we go about suspending all thoughts, because I've
Mhm.
tried meditation and I used to think, oh, I'm just not geared for it. I'm not wired for it because of my ADHD. I can't turn things off very easily. So talk about some practices or maybe some tips, or what does this term soul calling mean to you, and how do you suspend all thoughts, Oracle?
That's a good question. So soul callings. So I feel like soul callings is a act on purpose because it's our personality, which creates the purposes that we then give to the world in the way in which we express ourselves. But our
Mm,
souls already are brought into this experience with certain gifts, skills, and talents, or natural abilities, or innate abilities that are here to be rediscovered or to be mastered. So,
yeah.
like with this experience I'm in with the retreat, it's a reminder, it's a really deep reminder to me that music has always been my first calling, my first love, my first joy. And that even though I was spilling over my words like the first day or two I was in this retreat, by day 3 and 4, as I was writing my lyrics, people were like, wow, like I was getting a lot of presence around that. And they're like, how long have you been writing? And I was like, I haven't. And they were like, but that doesn't sound like you haven't. And I'm like, because I'm trusting it. So when you start to notice those things that feel good, go ahead.
Okay, I just because I got a download to tell you, when you said you have been writing, you may not have been writing it down.
Mm,
You've been writing. I mean, because you have been. Because I believe that our stories, the beautiful thing about life is we cannot unsee what we've seen. We cannot unhear what we've heard. So we've captured it. We just have to remember ourselves to it in order to become the scribes that we truly are, to get it out, to put it down so that it can be left for others to find. So go on, go on.
that's I agree. I agree. It sits inside your cellular memory to then be scribed down for
Yeah.
sure.
Hmm.
Um, so where was I? So those things that feel good to us, those are the gifts of the universe. Those are our soul callings. Because what we're really meant to do is we're meant to thrive. We're not here to just go work at McDonald's or go work at Amazon. We're here to take those gifts that we're given and create something out of passion that then can be directed with purpose. And then we can be living within that purpose,
Amen.
doing those things that we love and are enjoying. That's our whole experience. We're experiencing the human aspect of this creation because it is different than the soul aspect. And the difference is that we have the senses. We have touch, taste, sound, sight, and clear knowing. So that is the experience. We're here to, and if you think about it, taste. What is the purpose of taste? We don't gain any nutrition from taste. It is just a pleasure sense. We are here to experience pleasure in all its ways. So I run into too many people who go, I make this art, but I'm so ashamed to charge for this art.
Yeah.
You know, I have some reservations, like why would anyone pay? But these are programs that we're indoctrinated within, because as we're little we get told, learn how to do this so that you can find a good job. It's never that learn how to do this so you can create a reality you want to exist in. It's so it's something that you don't even possess.
Well, a lot of us, I deal with that, and I didn't know if it was my struggle with abundance, manifestation, uh, with worthiness, but I also believe that there's that center of service that is embedded spiritually, universally within all of us. That from the very beginning, that we have a desire, an innate desire to be of service. I mean, I get reminded of that every time I see a little one, that a toddler, when they do that thing that where they just go and they're of service. They go up to a perfect stranger. I saw a thing on Facebook this weekend where those people that spray themselves silver or like copper and pretend to be statues. And this little 1.5-year-old, he was 18 months, they said in the post, when he was sitting on a bench, and everyone was commenting how he never moves. And this toddler went over and put his hands on his knees and then just hugged him. And the guy broke character and hugged him back. And it was just, and I just, that's what I love about children. So my point is, I believe, just like when we hear laughter of a baby, how much it provides us. They're being of service and they don't even know it, because it is a form of communication. Just like when a baby cries, it's how it tells you what it needs. So a lot of people struggle with charging because I believe they've got that strong passion to be of service. But a lot of us don't trust what we've created to be good enough, So let's talk about practices to help us. Now, you heard me say at the top of the hour how even today in my world, I still kind of, well, no, it's not kind of, I do. When I look at the universe, when all of that, I think it's something else. It's an extension, but like it comes after me or it's outside of me, but it's really within us. Talk about that. How do we understand that better?
So when we dive in to these inner worlds, and I say plural worlds that we have within us, we have inside of us an entire universe of exploration to seek out. So this is why you hear people say everything you need to know is inside of you.
Yes.
Now, I'm not saying it as such as a coping mechanism, so that way people don't get me wrong, because there are people who are so massively toxically independent, and I say toxically independent, that they refuse to try anything outside of themselves. I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying is, when everything is inside of you, is the gentleness, the love, the fortitude, the willpower, the tenacity, that is all inside of you. But we have to unveil it inside of our own universe, inside of our own sense of self. So in the beginning, when I started meditating, I remember transforming or shapeshifting into cells and traveling through my body as a cell.
Wow.
I remember transforming as a dust of pollen inside and floating in the air. So, and as I'm saying this, I could feel a vortex of energy actually opening. bringing me back into those moments. But when you're in there, you can unbecome the human form and experience a different world that already exists. And if you think about it on the grand macro scope of things, we're still just a speck of dust in the grander schemes. We're
Yeah.
still just a cell in the grander scheme. But it's like we're taking this microscope and focusing it and dialing it inside of ourselves to have that experience. And
Yeah.
that experience is in surrender. It's not in the expectation that I will become something micro, but it's in the surrender of the physical ego, the physical body, that we can then unbecome to learn to gain a different perspective that aligns us to become something else.
I agree. Now, let me explain something that happened yesterday with me. Okay, I told you Brian had a 3.5 hour nap. So
Mm.
when the sun starts going down in our family room, you've been in there, you know, that window above the couch, that long one. The sun comes right in there and blocks, you can't really see the television. So we were like, well, let's take a break for 45 minutes till the sun goes down, we'll resume. He said, okay. So I said, well, I'm going to go upstairs and take a nap. So I thought, well, let me try. I don't feel like walking all the way over there, all the way 3 feet, and pulling the blinds. So I said, I'm just going to lay here anyway on top of the comforter. So I turned on a meditation thing that had water running, and they were like plucking some kind of harp or something. And I promise you, I was going, well, it's nice and I'm relaxing, but clearly I cannot go to sleep right now with this on. And the next thing I know, and I really kept talking to myself, thinking I was not asleep. And then the next thing I know, Brian's touching me, saying, did you want to just stay in bed? Because it's 7:30. You've been asleep for an hour and something. I was like, what? I looked at the clock and I thought I was not asleep because I could hear that. It was like a bridge between both worlds, subconscious and conscious, if you know what I mean. What is that sometimes? So the reason I'm saying it like this is I've always thought when I try to meditate, I felt like a fake because I'm there, especially if you're doing it in a group with other people. I'm like peeking and stuff. But you know what? The very first time I was hypnotized, I swore up and down. I could hear myself in my head while she's talking. This woman is crazy. I am not hypnotized. I could scare her right now if I want to, you know. And then at the end of it, when she started asking me questions about what I saw when she prompted certain things, I was like, what do you mean? I remember you asking me that, and she played the recording. And I was like, how can this be? So talk about that. How do we just stop questioning? I mean, that's what I do. I'm like, am I really asleep? Am I really meditating? Am I really doing it? Or am I pretending? What is that?
There's a lot of layers to what you just said. Okay. There's a lot of energy moving through me today. So there's a lot of layers to that. So let's address the fact that you're lucid. And lucid means that you are aware that you're in a space between spaces. So ideally we get into this alpha brainwave state where we can then connect to divinity and higher states of consciousness. But if in practice we can actually tap into that and also be lucid, so being aware. And but let's talk about the observer. So when we met, we are the observer of our thoughts. We are the witness to our thoughts. If we are not in our day-to-day life creating a space for ourselves to be kind, and we stay in that hyper analytical space, so we're not in the heart space, the empowered heart space, but we're in the space of logic. Okay, this is the mental space. What that does, that space here, is always wants to criticize. It only wants to judge. It only wants to place a label and put a box around things. So we are not in our empowered mind. Okay. When I start to see these kinds of thoughts where we're being critical, it's actually an alert to yourself to say, I'm actually being critical in many other ways. So when we're sitting in the process of meditation, notice where you go. Because if you're being critical to what you're doing, you are actually being critical to your emotional self as you're going through your day to day unconsciously. So these are an alert to patternings that are occurring. So that's why I'm saying that has a lot of layers to it. And The Brian thing about not wanting to sleep because he never takes a nap, even though he's actually absolutely burned out.
Mm-hmm.
We don't give ourselves permission to rest because we have, for some reason or another, we have programmed in ourselves that rest is not conducive to our lifestyle. That
Right.
within rest, we aren't actually doing anything. But if we were to think of ourselves as an electronic, let's say our phone, okay,
Mhm.
when the iOS update comes in for your iPhone, the phone says plug in and set a timer or whatever, and it resets itself. Okay, so that's what we're doing when we close our eyes. We're plugging in when we're resetting ourselves. We cannot get the iOS update unless it was plugged in. And you will wake up and go, oh, my update didn't happen. Oh, I forgot to plug the phone into the wall. It's the same thing with us. You're not going to gain intuition. You're not going to gain calmness. You're not going to gain clarity if you don't plug in and
Mm. So what's happening? It hasn't happened with me in years, but I remember a leg of my journey, a stretch, where I could be completely exhausted and go to sleep and wake up even more exhausted, where it
mm.
felt like I didn't recharge at all. Any idea what that means?
So a lot of us, because we're not processing in the daytime and we're not creating practices for rest, as in meditation, what happens is the body and the mind is forced to subconsciously process the day in your dream state while you're asleep.
Mm.
So essentially what you're doing is you're working overtime while you're sleeping because you didn't do the work while you were conscious.
Oh, okay, that makes perfect sense. Real quick before we uh, go to the audience, because you've opened up this channel,
Mm.
and I'm anxious for what's to come. Real quick, and then we're going to go to break and come back and attack what we were talking about. Sacred space. How important is it to, ahead of time, create
Mm.
space for the intention you have just set for yourself?
So sacred means something that I deem worthy or valuable in myself. When I'm doing talisman tattoos right now. I created an altar and a sacred space. Someone actually slept in it, which I then had a side conversation. You wouldn't sleep in a church, so you don't sleep in a sacred space created. So sacred space is basically the idea that I have intentionally created a moment in time or an energy around a particular place so that I can do this particular kind of work. This be a meditation, this be a breathing exercise, this be a special tattoo work. And so this can be something as simple as lighting a candle because or lighting an incense. The same way when you get your cup of coffee and you sit in front of your computer, your coffee is the signal it's time to work. Now, how do we translate that to energetic work? When I light my candle, light my incense, I have now this muscle memory that goes, it's time to work. It is time to sit and dive into myself. This is a sacred container. Okay. And
Right.
this is a new word that I have been using lately. This is an open container or a closed container for this type of work. So sacred just basically means I'm adding value. This is something worthwhile of doing, and this is a technique or a practice I'm implementing so that I can create that and be in touch within that sacred space within
Yeah.
myself, because you don't need anything tactile. And a great way to do that, if we want to just do a 30-second real quick thing, is making a triangle in front of your empowered heart space, so that's bringing gratitude to yourself. Then we turn the triangle down, place it on the belly button. That is called the hara line or willpower. We extend our arms into a circle. You guys can't see it, but it's a circle. And
Yeah.
we touch 3 times belly button to fingertips. And that is creating a sacred space where we're at anywhere. So this is a protective energy when we meditate, when we're going to do any kind of energy work. Writing, singing, music, this is sacred because it's something coming from your heart, from your spirit, and from your soul. So don't undermine the muses. Any kind of muse is a sacred time.
And I believe sacred space is an agreement. It is a covenant. It is a place. That's why people, Native Americans draw circles, a sweat lodge, in Christianity, a church is a
Mhm.
sacred space, an altar, all these things. And I know the power of manifesting a sacred space because it's dual in my world anyway. It provides a protection to all those things that are not intending to serve me. It's a barrier. And
It
it,
is.
like you said, it contains all of those things that I have a covenant with in this particular sector of time, this moment. So yes, I
Absolutely.
agree 100%. Listen, we're going to take just a brief break. And when we come back, the Oracle is, she felt the energy vortex open and she's going to do, say it again. It's called channel.
We're gonna do channeling readings for you guys. So throw your
Channeling
question in the section below. Doesn't matter what the question is. Let's go.
Drop your questions in and we're going to get some answers. We'll be right back. Great time to share out the broadcast. Don't go away.
On July 4th, 1962, I found myself in the lost and found of mankind. Just because something finds its way to the lost and found doesn't mean that it wants to be there. Just because something finds its way to the lost and found doesn't mean that the person who lost it doesn't care for that lost item. You are writing moments that people will learn from, grow from, and heal through for thousands of years. Together, we are co-authoring a unique moment in time. That DNA, those fingerprints, they're going to be gone. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. But it is your story that they will tell for thousands of years. But only if you leave it. Things that do not serve you must go. The longer you wait, the more time you give them to trick you into serving them. 22 homes in foster care, everything I wore as a scar, as a shame, things that started like Velcro on my spirit. After just a few months, then years, then decades, I had believed myself into believing that they were indelible tattoos. Sometimes we have to be broken down to appreciate the view once we start getting up. I want you to leave this place and know that you have been changed. Why? How do I know it's true? Because each of you has just changed.
Welcome back to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm Lauren Michaels Harris, and my guest today is the incredible Oracle of Apollo. Hey, I've been wanting to ask you, and I always forget, in that Power We Sizzle, where you're in that frame, I saw you smiling, that girl goes like this. She puts like to the other girl. Do you remember what they were talking about?
When I walked up to them, they were like, "Oh my God, you're so pretty."
Aww.
And she made me gush. I was just like, "Oh, thank you."
I was not down there at all during the lunch period while the students were. I was running around. So every time I see something in the footage that happened somewhere else in the mansion, I like to ask the people that were there at those divine moments. I could feel them happening wherever I was. It was like I could hear a combination to a lock turning. 23 right, 14 left.
I remember that.
Remember I was telling you that? And so, yeah, really beautiful. But let's get into it. You've opened a channel. Let's see. Does anybody have a question about, well, Lori Whitney, you have a lot of stuff going on. Okay, she says, need to pull the number 8 for my neighbor today or a message for his new beginning in safe travels. He's leaving with his daughter to live traveling from California to Ohio. Anything, Oracle?
Okay, well, I want to give a disclaimer. I don't do third-party readings, but let's pull a
Ah,
card.
okay.
All right. So we have the strength card for your neighbor. This is Archangel Ariel. Great inner strength, release harsh judgments, forgiveness, and compassions. Sometimes we can project onto other people what they should be doing, shouldn't be doing. Our fears are projected onto them. Don't ever be afraid for somebody else's well being because you are actually dirtying their auric energy field. And then we get into this space of should. They should do this way or that way or X, Y, Z. Don't ever should anybody. You're creating a burden on their literal cellular memory of their shoulders when we should someone. So when you see someone transitioning into something that may bring up triggers for yourself, just wish them the best for their highest and greatest good, their highest and greatest experience, and their highest and greatest learning, and take yourself out of the equation 100%.
All right. Now I'm gonna jump in because selfish moment right now, but
Go for it.
I really want some insight, if you will. I've been experiencing this thing for a couple months now, where I constantly hear. I think I don't know if you were around when I was sharing with everybody how I got the download not long ago. They said, Lauren, you know, faith is not a thing. And I was like, what? They're like, no, faith is a place.
Mm.
And suddenly it was so much easier for me to process. I was like, it is. And they said, yeah. I was like, how do you get there? They said, you're there. You made it there through a tunnel of trust. And
Yes.
yes. And I keep hearing at so many junctures, trust the process, Lauren. Trust the process. And you know, I'll say, you guys see, I just showed my first ever in 7 years speaker reel. Because I didn't know until the doctorate thing that I was living inside a fear-based mindset of imposter syndrome. And so finally, I have found the courage to take some of my on-stage stuff. See, I'll do that stuff like the masterclass and stuff, or this, or any of that. But when it came to, I could never even watch. Even Power We, when I'm talking to audiences, live people, I can't watch that stuff back, let alone post it. So now I have. And I'm reaching out of a comfort zone. And all I keep doing is, okay, reminding myself of what I've been whispered. Trust the process. Trust the process.
Mm-hmm.
So, any insight on how, I want to ask how I'm doing. You know.
You got 7 out of 10. If you need a score, you're 7 out of 10 right now.
Okay, I'll take that. So that's it. That was it. That's what you got.
That's the numbers. But as far as faith and trust, let's talk about that a little bit because I feel like this topic is like the nearest and dearest to me, faith and trust.
Okay.
And when I say faith, I don't mean faith in, it doesn't even have to be in any label. Like I want to take away just all labels of everything, and let's just paint it a color. Let's just paint it a color pink. Okay, faith is the color pink. We are from birth, we are placed in this beautiful pink aura of energy. And what happens is as life goes, we get dirty. The same way you see when it snows and the cars drive by, that beautiful, pristine white snow starts to get muddied up, right? But the snow's still there. Maybe it has hardened, maybe it's turned into ice, maybe it has lost its softness, but the snow is definitely still there. Okay, so we have to remember faith like that. When we think of the Greek mythology of Pandora and the box of hope that she opens when she's actually tricked into opening the box that releases all the malevolent things into the world, what wasn't expected at the bottom of the box was hope, the thing that was there that no one placed into the box. And so we always have faith. It's just we have to clean the visor, we have to clean the window, we have to clean the path, but it's there, it's never gone.
It's never gone.
And when they're reminding you to trust, it really is saying, stop doubting. It's not. So, if we reframe that, because it's like, how do I trust? Then we get into panic mode. No. Stop doubting. Stop doubting. So before the end of this trip, I was told for this trip that I would have a financial door open, and this is why I came on this trip. And 2 days ago, I was told to trust. And I said, oh, if I was told to trust, it's because my human has been going, where is it? When is it?
Yeah.
How is it? No, we have to come back and reel ourselves back into that heart space and go, I'm living it in my action steps that I'm moving forward. And right this moment, I am embodying that energy right now. I am
Yes.
exuding that energy right now. And I have to remove the doubt out of that equation in order for me to stay balanced on that space.
Girl, you said a mouthful there. Because I'm going to tell you something. I constantly am on myself about doubting. I just, I want to get over that. But I want to put something up. This is one of our dearest friends, Joy Turner. Joy, I don't think I've ever seen you comment. So I've never known that you even watched. And so for Joy to put this in there, I have a feeling there's a message for her. She says, I've been in the bed since 6 p.m. yesterday, and it's been an emotionally exhausting week. Are you feeling anything for Joy?
Yeah. And, even though this isn't a question, this is right in my alley. This is in my lane. The body is in my lane.
Okay.
So when I see something like this, I can actually see like a map in someone's physical body where they're being depleted at. And for Joy, I see it in her left adrenal and in her stomach. So Joy, I really pose this question to you to sit with is, why are you giving so much of yourself? For what purpose are you giving so much of yourself? There is sometimes we give so much of ourselves, we have to overachieve for perceived deficiency that's actually in the underlying aspect of ourselves. So it's important to recognize that one, I don't have to live a life of stress and powerlessness. I don't have to give my power away. And we give our power. People go, well, what does that even mean, giving your power away? When you say yes and commit to something you didn't want to do, when you answer the phone and you looked at it and go, I don't want to talk to this person, but you answered it anyways.
Yeah.
These are ways we give away our power.
Yes.
So it is imperative to stay authentic. And staying authentic is creating healthy boundaries of no's, healthy boundaries of yeses, and recognizing what that feels like to you. If I don't have it to give, then don't. And what's happening to you, Joy, you're giving more than you're circulating. So if you're not putting a breathing practice, a meditation practice, or some kind of a mindfulness practice in place, there's no regeneration. You just give. And so you run the battery low. You run the battery low.
Guilty.
And that forces burnout. That creates burnout.
Yes, I was dealing with that, and I still do. But I keep this right here on my desk because it came from my therapist. I'll read it. He told me, because first of all, Joy and everyone else, remember, the saying is, my cup runneth over, not my cup runneth out. Okay? So that means that if you keep giving, you're supposed to give away from the runneth over so that you remain full to be present and to be your very best version of yourself. Because why would you want a version of someone? You want all of them, all of it, right? So my therapist told me this, and I keep it right here. And yes, I did spill wine on it a few times, clearly. Not in the morning. I heard you, whoever that was, after 4 p.m. He told me to say this to myself and then to the situation or the person. Because sometimes I commit because I already know this person. I know when they call in, when I call them back, and I've already said yes before I even call. So I have to talk to myself sometimes before I talk to them. So how do you best feel you need to deal with this? And give it back to them. Because, man, it's like.
And it's, it comes in that service mentality. We think we have to give and give and give to be of service. But the reality is being of service comes from being of service to you first.
That's right. If I could speak in tongues, I'd have to say Hasa Babaka right now. But I can't. So, or did I? Anyway, Sherry McQueen, not a question. Well, it is. Anything for me, Oracle. Hi, Sherry McQueen. Love your face. Miss it.
Sherry McQueen, we need to put some live flowers in your house, white ones. I'm feeling like lilies or daffodils. Scent is very important for you right now. Fragrance is very important for you right now. It's to elevate your spirit. Also, it's like to sweeten you. There's like a sweetness that's needing to come in. So also honey, putting honey on your lips and taking honey into your body.
Are
So
there
there's
white daffodils?
a softening daffodils.
Daffodils are yellow.
Well, white, I don't know. That's the word that came through. I
Oh,
saw white flowers and then I saw daffodils.
white flowers, daffodils. And so, what do you think that means? I've never heard you say anything like that before. What? Because we have flowers. I'm asking all the time, and
Oh,
I'm drawn to bringing them in. What are they doing in my space, in our spaces?
so basically the flower is sacrificing its energy to give to your space. So you cut it and it starts to absorb the negative energy from the house, the density into itself. So it's offering itself to your space. It's
Ah,
sacrifice.
ah. Oh, I know Bernadette's thirsty. I know it, Bernadette. I'm glad you spoke up. Talk about giving, giving, giving. Bernadette's one of our coaching family members, Oracle. You wouldn't know it because she's so busy all the time. She can't come to a session. So, just saying, I ain't trying to put your business out there. Oh, wait. Yes, I was. So, talk to Bernadette.
So in the 30-second cap, because I'm looking at that time. So for Bernadette, I'm seeing like homemade meals being made. It kind of looks like I'm making a rump roast or something. This feels like a lively time of communing with family. But it feels also empty. Like I feel kind of empty. So it's important to create space for that family can come together and join together. I feel like for you, that's going to be over a meal. So if you're looking for reconnection in any part of your family or friend or relationship circle, make some food and invite them over. You know, there's a saying that says, if we miss people, reach out. Don't expect them to read your mind, you know? So if you're missing someone or you're longing for some kind of connection here, make it happen. Just make it happen and forget everything else. The story that on why it hasn't happened.
Thank you. I got to download real quick. We got a couple minutes left. I heard ask for angel blessing. Is that a thing?
Yes, we can ask for angel blessing. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you guys an angel today. The angel is the angel Caziel, who is the angel of releasing heartache and betrayal. And here is the blessing for everybody in like a 30-second spiel.
Yes.
Angel Caziel, please accept my heart link invitation and join your energy with mine. Heal my heart of its wounds. Fill my heart with love and teach me to trust and love again. Protect me from those who would betray my love and help me respect and honor the love I receive from others. Help me see that I am in love incarnate looking for love. Please help me find it. So be it.
So be it. Ashe. I receive it. I receive it because I believe it. Listen, if you would like to learn more, continue the dialogue with Dominique Rivera. I can't say it like you. Dang it. Here it is on your screen, oracleofapollo.com, or along the bottom. If Instagram is your jam, she's there as well. And don't miss her show. Go to Facebook and be a follower on Divine Encounters. Days, times, the show?
Wednesday, Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're bringing you supernatural experiences from all over the world. People experiencing beautiful, inspirational moments in their life. And when a divinity steps in and assists them, Sunday nights are your horoscopes. Positive, of course, to help you elevate your week and give you the right mindset to tackle all of the things and already know you're successful. We just have to deconstruct that.
There you go. Oracle, I love you. I miss you. Thank you so much for coming in today. Listen, you guys, tomorrow, our guest is Stephanie Olson. Wait till you hear this incredible story. She'll be here, and we have an entire week of illuminated conversations just for you. But it's time to go. But get out there today. Seek, seek, and seek again. Be the very best version of yourself, no matter what it is. Just show up, right? I look forward to meeting you tomorrow morning, God willing, out front on the front porch, so that together we can fulfill that promise of where two or more of us comes together with the same mindset, heart set, soul set, magic, spiritual magic happens just like it did today. Get out there and change the world. Thank you for changing me. Thank you, Oracle. I love you. I'll see everybody tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Baby, I'll show you mine. Show soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Boy, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind.